Hi teams, it's nice to see you again and get a chance to speak to you. And can I just start by thanking everybody again for everything that you have done and are continuing to do for the people of Scotland over this COVID outbreak. For the last 10 weeks, I think it's been incredible what you've managed to deliver. Your resilience, your dedication and commitment has been recognised at the highest level within Scottish Government. So thanks again for everything that you're doing out there in our pharmacy network. We thought we'd speak to you just a bit earlier this week because we've had a few updates on some things today. And as you're aware, as of tomorrow, some restrictions have been lifted. For example, garden centres are going to be open, outdoor work can resume, sunbathing in parks and meetings like that can happen, and also meet with one other household per day. So really the conclusion, and obvious conclusion from that, is there will be greater people contact and greater people movement. So linked to that is the new test and protect system that includes contact tracing and the potential of immediate self-isolation. So the guidance today is that pharmacy teams will be treated exactly the same as everyone else throughout this process, and therefore we run the risk of whole pharmacy teams having to self-isolate. Nightmare, and we appreciate that. So the best advice that CPS can give you is to, number one, enforce the 2 metre physical distancing. And I know that is near nigh impossible in some of our pharmacies. You'll need to get creative about how we do this, including patient management into the pharmacy, staggered break times, so only one person in the tea area if at all possible, or even eating your lunch or taking your breaks from your own car if you have one. Consider shift working. So teams, you and us, we're going to have to get creative about how we deal with this, get our thinking caps on, but again, we can do it. We really just need to put our mind to it. The second thing there is wear the PPE masks for your sessions in the pharmacy. Now, during the First Minister briefing today, the Chief Medical Officer, Gregor Smith, was asked whether healthcare contacts might be judged to be a contact by the NHS test and protection system. His advice was it would depend on the specific situation and if the PPE was worn. So please, can you wear your masks, uncomfortable though that is in certain circumstances? So and really it includes that during the breaks I've mentioned, because it's now to protect the service we provide and the communities that we serve, as well as ourselves within the pharmacies. The third thing we can do is please keep a thorough hand washing routine within the pharmacy and keep that adherence going as we move through the next opening up of the restrictions period. So linked to that, if you could see the kind of worst case scenario, can I ask the pharmacy teams, can you prepare a list of vulnerable patients that would need treated in the absolute event that a pharmacy had to suddenly close? Now, I'm sure our health board colleagues and others will do everything they can to ensure pharmacies stay open. It's just if it can't, we would need to know who to treat and with what. So I'd be really grateful if you could turn your minds to some form of contingency planning like that. Now, this topic I'm sure will generate more questions in the days to come, and we've had many questions today, hence the reason for coming out a bit earlier this week and speaking to you tonight. We are in daily contact with the Scottish Government colleagues about this very topic, and should any guidance change or be updated, we will be back in touch with you to let you know as soon as we possibly can. Just a couple of other things to update you on while I'm on tonight. Now, you may have heard that remdesivir is authorised for use now for COVID virus, but not in the community. So it's saved for ICU use in hospital only, certainly at the minute. So just in case you get any questions, hospital ICU use for remdesivir. A couple of things on the finances. Matt, he's finalising our submission for the additional cost funding from the survey results that you were kind enough to send into us. and we expect to submit that to Scottish Government next week. And can I give a big thanks and a shout out to our colleagues at Practitioner Services Division. They've managed to price all the March's prescriptions, which actually is a phenomenal achievement. So pharmacies, you'll get actual payments and your reschedules from tomorrow. So that will also not affect the reconciliation timelines that we've sent out earlier. So hopefully that's some good news for you from there. Matt left you last week with a question. What are the main ingredients of a Glamorgan sausage? And that's one for our vegetarian colleagues. It's a traditional Welsh sausage made with cheese, usually Caerphilly, leeks and breadcrumbs. As I say, every day is a school day. So my question to leave you with tonight is, in which James Bond film does 007 drive a Triumph Stag? So in which James Bond film does 007 drive a Triumph Stag? So thanks again, teams, for listening in tonight. I hope you're all well, and I'll get a chance to speak to you in the near future. All the best.